Share vinyl.
Hi guys, and happy Saturday. Hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. I started out my Saturday by hanging out in the yard, and it got so incredibly hot that I said, you know what, let me just go over and hang out with Craig. And Craig was closing today at 1 because he has somewhere to go. But I was glad I went over there. And yesterday, we celebrated Elena's birthday. It was me and Craig and Joe and Elena, and we had a very fun time. Elena's birthday is Cinco de Mayo. What a cool day to have a birthday, right? But since the stores closed on Monday, we said, okay, let's celebrate today. And we had a very, very, very fun time. So I have a little bit of footage from the store. We had some very good conversation, good times with good friends.
Where did that come from? I didn't even take it out.
You know what? You can taste the citrus. You can taste the orange. Now I tasted the
but
orange.
not the vanilla.
I'm not really getting the vanilla yet.
Really?
Okay.
Maybe a couple more sips and I'll get it.
Okay.
Hi.
Maybe your palate was not ready for it.
My
because
palate
you
wasn't
had
ready.
Just gotten. You finished the
other thing.
That cream thing, that creamy thing. Right. Okay. Well then,
your palate needs to settle down a little
then
bit.
my opinion will because
I think
only-
your palate needs to settle.
You should
Because
have cleansed the palate.
right.
It's working now.
Right.
Look
I
at that.
know it's all fresh. and
Joe's on it.
now.
I want
Another review.
Yeah, we want Joe's opinion now.
Oh, I heard the
I'll
click.
do that.
You smell a little creamsicle, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, right?
Orange.
Yep.
Not the second one. Just the first initial.
Right, that's what I got, the initial.
Maybe a glass would be better.
Mine's in glass.
I got the orange more than the cream.
Yeah. Or more than
Taste
the vanilla.
The citrus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, more than the vanilla.
A lobster beer.
Lops? What could be better than that, right? What could be better than that? So I got some really fun things from Craig, and we're going to go through them. Today, like I said, I went back to Craig's. He was only there for a couple hours. I got there about 11. He was only staying up until 1, but I did get to see Bob, and I haven't seen him in like 2.5 months, with my dad getting sick, and I wasn't going there on Saturdays, so it was good to see Bob again. So anyway, I'll show you the vinyl, and nothing better than vinyl, as we know, record collectors. I told Joe about my Liam cabinet. And he asked me if it comes in black. I said yes. And he said, I'm buying one now. I'm buying it now. So he got one too. And that's really, really fun. All right. So we got 12-inch singles. We have 1 LP. We got a ton of 45s. And we got a new Halloween 45, okay? I mean, there's a lot of Christmas in here too, but the new Halloween 45 is something that no one has ever heard, probably. And me and Craig played it and just looked at each other like, holy crap. Okay, so that'll be the last thing we show. All right, I got the Essential Bruce Springsteen on CD. This is a 3 CD set and book. It's a really big, beautiful set, and this is going to go to my dad for Father's Day. My dad is heavily into New Jersey artists. He's always talking about Bon Jovi and Bruce, and so I got him the Essential Bruce Springsteen. I think he needs to have this, So when he hangs out in the garage, with his CD player and literally blasts his music. You know what I mean? Like some people, I always say, Dad, your neighbors, they can't hear it. Yeah, I think they can. You know what I mean? Something in all of my life living here. I've been in my house for 35 years, and the one thing I always hated was people that blasted their music, because I love music, but I don't want to hear your music. I want to hear my music, and I would never dream of disturbing my neighbors. So when my dad blasts his music, it kind of cracks me up, I'm like, wow, Dad, you're the neighbor. You're the one in the neighborhood that everybody's like, wow, that kid blasts his music, 87-year-old kid blasting his music. But he does, Santana. What's the other favorite he has? Van Morrison. He just blasts it. Hey, he's not on my block, so I don't care. But anyway, so I'll give him that. I think he'll really love that. That along with his keychains, his Vegas keychains, I think he'll be really, really happy for Father's Day. Okay, so got some weird stuff from Craig. Got some really good stuff. All right, I got I'll Do You by Wire Train, 12-inch single. This is a band that we were not familiar with, and we played the song. It's an alternative band, and we really liked it. So okay, I mean, Craig was gonna get rid of it, and I said, you know what? It's really good. Listen to it. And he was like, yeah, sounds pretty good. So I took it, and I like it. I got a beautiful copy of one of my favorite albums. Of course I have it, but this was like brand new. And we got a collection in that of a girl who was of my era, and everything in her collection was spectacularly clean. I mean, she had 45s and LPs. And this is one of my favorite. I'm a huge Clash fan, huge Mick Jones fan, huge Joe Strummer fan. And so having a beautiful copy of I have it, of course, but like I said, this was it looked like it was never played, and it's one of my favorites. So I was very excited about this. All right. I got this. This is very, very interesting. The Lazarus Effect. Okay. This is sealed. 12-inch EP. We did a lot of research on this piece. There's a TV show called this. There are at least three bands with the name The Lazarus Effect. But after much research, this particular Lazarus Effect was the original, and they were active from like maybe 89 to 95. All right. And they're an industrial band, industrial electronica. And there were two other, I wrote this down because it was very interesting. There were two other Lazarus Effect bands. One was active in Britain in the 2000s, okay? That is not this band. This is early 90s industrial here in, actually in Fairview, New Jersey. Right here. Very, very local to me. And then the new band, there's a new band called this about a year or two ago. They were a local band that did covers, and they had a female singer who I personally think could not sing to save her life. But they did things like really good. They did covers. Creep, Psycho Killer, Fairies Wear Boots, White Room. But I doubt that they're still active. But anyway, this is the original Lazarus Effect, early 90s. Really good stuff. Industrial electronica, which I love. I love industrial music. I love electronica, as Carm knows, as you all know. I mean, we love our Tangerine Dream. We love Froza, solo stuff. It's just, I mean, I love that all. And I used to work with a guy who was in an electronica band. I was in a goth industrial band, and he was really great. So I was really excited about this, and that's why I did the research on this, because it's still sealed. And this happens to be the only vinyl this band ever released. They did a CD album, they did 2 cassette mini albums, and they did a cassette single, and then they did this EP vinyl. So I'm pretty excited about this, because you know what? I've gotten into certain bands in the past, local type bands, and their stuff is so rare that eventually you can't touch their stuff, and it goes for big bucks. So I was pretty happy to have that. Very, very much. What else did I want to talk about? I got a lot of 45s here, and all right, let's go through those. We got, this is so fun. This is on Happy Yuletide Songs, Golden 3 on 1. Little golden, I guess. The Three Stooges, an orchestra doing Wreck the Halls with Boughs of Holly, Jingle Bells Drag, and Down Through the Housetop. The other side is All I Want for Christmas is My Two Front Teeth. I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. And I Got a Cold for Christmas. And, I mean, come on. The Three Stooges, really, how exciting that is. And of course, we listened to it. And we absolutely loved it. All right. We got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Spike Jones and his City Slickers, one of my dad's favorite bands of all time. The other side is Mommy, won't you buy me a baby brother or sister? Seriously, I know. Really fun. We got Santa Claus Rides a Strawberry Roan by Jim Lowe. If I'm not mistaken, I might have this on 78. I might. It sounds familiar. All right. In this collection that we got, there were Do They Know It's Christmas? Of course, we all have this. But the thing with this is it's mint perfect. Look at the sleeve. It's absolutely perfect. And the record was never played. Because in this collection, there were at least 8 of these, and she said she bought them because they were for charity. So she probably had one that she played, and all the rest were spotlessly, perfectly mint. And it's just really, really, really a great thing. I mean, like I said, obviously I have it, but this is new, untouched. And I'm a huge Bob Geldof fan, so very, very fun. All right, we got Susie Snowflake by Kenny and Corey. Very fun. Again, I have it, but this is another record that's usually beat to hell. And this one is basically perfect. You don't see these little kids' Christmas records in good shape. So I was very excited. All right, this is amazing. You know, when we find Christmas records that we don't know, and for me and Craig is always looking for Christmas and Halloween records for me. If he's never heard it, he assumes I've never heard it. Okay, so, and that's a pretty good possibility because Craig's been in the business for over 50 years. So he found me this one, and I do have things by the Youpers before this, but not this one. This is on You Guys Records, and it is Rusty Chevrolet, which is a Christmas song. Are you kidding me? We listened to it. We absolutely flipped over it, and I can't wait to play this in a Christmas podcast for you, because I pretty much guarantee a lot of you have never, ever heard that one. All right, we got Mr. Snow, one of my favorites, the Golden Sandpipers, with Jimmy Carroll Orchestra. Have it. Always trashed. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the vinyl. Oh my God. How a record like this stayed this clean is beyond my comprehension. And this is what makes record collecting so friggin' exciting, right? All right. And then we have The Nutcracker by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Okay. This is the Nutcracker. Okay. From the Nutcracker Suite, done Emerson, Lake and Palmer style. Who wouldn't love this? I mean, as soon as I put it on, I looked at Craig and I went, what? You know, it was just so amazing. Absolutely friggin' amazing. So, fun Christmas stuff. All right, we have Elvis Costello doing Green Shirt on F-Beat Records, green vinyl. Very interesting piece, and I love the song, love the record, love Elvis Costello. Anyway, very, very fun. All right, I got a copy of I Want to Hold Your Hand by Christopher Milk. This is a promo, and this, it's absolutely beautiful. And I have it, but this is, but I don't know if mine's a promo, but this has, how do you call it? Like, Christopher Milk does it as, let me think about this. Bob Dylan, and then they do it as Iggy. So it's Bob Dylan and Iggy singing I Want to Hold Your Hand by Christopher Milk. And very, very interesting. I have played this in past podcasts, but this one is so mint, and it is a promo. Not sure if mine was, but anyway. So this is really fun. This goes in my Beatle box because it's a cover, you know, and that's how I find my covers easily, if they're with my Beatles stuff. All right, we got the Green Hornet theme by B. Bumble and the Stingers. Beautiful instrumental, just amazing stuff. B. Bumble and the Stingers. How fun is that? In a Mercury sleeve. Perfect. I mean, just beautiful. All right, this is really fun. This is on the Coral label. It's What is a Teenage Girl by Tom Edwards. This is, I call it a total novelty. You know, there's a lot of novelties in here, but this is a total novelty. It's spoken word, really fun, really dated. You know what I mean? It's like gotta be late 50s, early 60s, like Craig said, pre-Beatles, British invasion. Really fun. I will play it in a future podcast. All right, we got the Altiers doing Words Can't Explain and Keep Laughing. Really great What's so interesting about this is it says advanced release. It's an advanced release lorry, and it's in like this psych writing advanced release, but it is it's like a black doo-wop, and it's very, very interesting. I really liked Words Can't Explain. Very interesting record. Then we got Smell of Incense by Southwest FOB on the Hip label. Excellent, excellent tune. We do listen to everything that Craig puts in my pile, because sometimes it's stuff he knows and thinks I would like, and other times it's like stuff neither one of us knows and says we have to hear it, And this was really great. All right, next up, I Wish I Had a Job to Shove by Rodney Lay and the Wild West. This is the answer song to Take This Job and Shove It by Johnny Paycheck. So the answer song is I Wish I Had a Job to Shove on the Churchill label. Very interesting Churchill label. Very, very cool song. We had fun with that. All right, another thing that I have, but this one is freaking amazingly mint. And when usually when you find break-ins, they are never mint. Those records have been used and abused, but this is mint. I have this, but this one is definitely cleaner than the one I have. And this is Moonflight by Vic Venus. Great, great stuff on the Buddha label, and awesome break-in. Really fun. All right, this is really cool. This is Split Ends, picture sleeve. It's one step ahead, but it is a laser etched 45. Craig was like, do you have one of these? I was like, no. So he's like, all right, you need one. And there is the laser etching. When I turn it to, look at the laser etching. How cool is that? They're ahead of their time, because laser etching became really, really popular when Record Store Day started trying to do interesting things to make people spend more money on records, So that was cool. All right, we got Johnny Can't Read by Don Henley. One of Don Henley, I believe this was, Craig said this was Don Henley's first single, but it was banned. It actually was banned. It's this is a promo, and it was banned because it was, I don't know how you say it. It's not really politically incorrect, but it's just that what he's singing about is this like stupid jock who can't read. And believe me, from experience, I've seen that in high school. Even our teachers that were coaches were actually pretty freaking stupid, So maybe that's controversial what I'm saying, but I'm telling you, why would that be banned? It's not really politically incorrect. I hate this whole politically correct atmosphere. It's just so stupid. I heard that they literally destroyed Snow White, and I don't even want to know. I don't even want to look at it, because it's a beautiful story. Why would you change it? Yeah, forget it. I can't go there because I'll go nuts. Alright, so we got Jan and Dean, Batman. This is really cool. Craig said it didn't go anywhere, but it is the last single they did before Jan's accident. So we met Dean Torrance at Dead Man's Curve, and I have footage of it here on YouTube. Craig was so excited to meet him, and it's so cute when you see it on the video, how excited he was, But this is right before Jan's accident, and it's a great song. I really loved it. The other side is Bucket Tea, which is, of course, a hot rod song, and that's what they were pretty well known for. All right, I have a perfect copy of I Am the Walrus. I don't have a perfect copy of this. I have many, many Beatle records now, but I did not have a perfect copy of I Am the Walrus, and I really love this song. The other side is Hello Goodbye. It is in a capital sleeve. Very, very fun. We have Street Fighting Man by the Rolling Stones, backed with No Expectations, Beautiful London. I always grab Rolling Stones singles when I see them because I am a huge Rolling Stone. I've loved them from day one, and I used to have arguments about people back in the day and say the Stones over the Beatles because the Stones were bad guys. The Beatles were nice guys, and we liked the bad guys. Do you know what I mean? And I have loved the Stones all of my life, you know. I only got into the Beatles way later because I was too young when the Beatles came. The Stones were my band, you know, so always grab their 45s when I see them. We got a beautiful, okay, remember I was saying about that girl who had the perfect 45s, and she bought all those, Do They Know It's Christmas, because it was, what do you call it, charity. Well, she had, this one, I love this song beyond perfect. I mean, perfect copy of West End Girls with a sleeve that doesn't have a bend or tear in it. It is so pristine that I almost, screamed when I saw it, because I do love this song, and having it like this is very exciting for me. Okay, last record, and this, wow, me and Craig just looked at each other. He goes, I knew it was probably cool. He said, I didn't know it. And when we put it on the turntable, we just looked at each other like, what? Nobody has ever heard this. And this is going to be so fun. I said, I just did a Halfway to Halloween video. Maybe I should do a Halfway to Halloween podcast. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, this is by, okay, this is on MGM, 1950. Happy Wilson doing the Haunted House Boogie. Oh my God. Seriously, wow. This was so great. I can't even express. I mean, I am so excited about this record. Of course, Christmas comes up a lot more than Halloween. But whenever Craig finds a Halloween, it's almost always mind-boggling. You know what I mean? So, and cool. Because he knows. He knows what I like. He knows what to look for. And if it's something that neither one of us has ever heard, he will grab it. Because we have to hear it. You know what I mean? So, that was the records. We had a very fun day yesterday. And then today I was there for a couple hours. I went there about 11. He closed at 1 because he has somewhere to go. But I got to see Bob after like 2.5 months. I haven't seen Bob in a long time. And we had fun. And Elena's birthday is Cinco de Mayo. So we had a fun time. Me, Craig, Elena, and Joe celebrating her birthday yesterday. We had a very, very fun day. So, anyway, we are waiting for storms to come in for the next, 3-4 days, whatever. We do need the rain. So, I'm kind of welcoming it, but then I'm going to have to mow the lawn again, the whole deal. Tomorrow, we're going to make, what What am I making tomorrow? Oh, American goulash. We're going to make that again because my dad loved it. And we're already planning Mother's Day, which is going to be, of course, British tea, which we do for my mom every Mother's Day. And so tomorrow's going to be American goulash. If I do have the camera with me, maybe I'll make it with you. Show you how to make it. It's simple. It's amazing. And then you can eat off it all week, which I like, Having leftovers, I love. So anyway, that's it from you guys. I hope you're having a magical, mystical, musical weekend. I love you all. Comment, subscribe, spread that love. Tink merch below, Radio Tink podcast link below, Patreon link below, Buy Me a Brew link below. And remember, in a black and white world, live a technicolor life. And I will see you all in the next one. I love you all so very, very much. I would not do this if not for you. I love you all. See you next time.